Welcome to Voices of Diversity, Women Driving Change podcast, where we shall explore and celebrate diversity in all its forms. This podcast is lined up on the occasion of International Women's Day celebrations, and it's also a pleasure that AjeenkyaDYPatilUniversity is observing March as the Diversity Month. So to delve deeper into this topic, we have with us a special guest, Dr. Kamaljeet Kaur Sidhu, who is the Executive Vice President of DY Patil Group. Dr. Kamaljeet is a formidable leader and she is also an advocate of diversity and inclusion besides her unique professional credentials. She has been instrumental in fostering an environment where voices are not only heard but valued. So I'm glad that Kamaljeet Kaur Sidhu has come here and we welcome you on this episode.
Thank you, Sukhvinda.
So today we shall delve into a very interesting topic, which is women in leadership. And I have a set of questions that I would like to ask Dr. Kamaljeet Kaur Sidhu. So shall we begin?
Yes, ma'am.
So setting the context, the first question for you is, why do you think conversation around women in leadership is more important than ever? And also in your experience, what are the most significant barriers that women face while striving for many leadership roles?
If you look at mythology to the modern times, we can see that women are not readily accepted in leadership roles. There is a long saga, a journey where she is questioned, and I have seen that though the government of India took initiatives, especially in corporate field, where they made it mandatory for having women in the board. So when it started, people were trying to just comply with it by asking their relatives, especially the bhabis of the group, were appointed on the board, and they were not given an opportunity to express, learn or contribute to the board. Later on, they made it compulsory that the women in leadership should be an independent role. That means the person should not be a relative of any of the board member. So what they started doing was, like, Goenka will invite Birla and Birla will invite Goenka's daughter-in-law to preside. But again, that was just a paperwork. There was no opportunity given to professional leaders, especially women leaders like us. Very recently, women have started fighting for it. I can see a lot of groups who are promoting that yes, women, irrespective of their relations, whether they are known to the group or not, are supposed to be given opportunities. So I think we are still struggling, and if you look at the numbers are bleak when it comes to leadership.
That's very true. The numbers are bleak and women do not have that platform in today's day and age where they can express themselves openly. And talking about leadership roles, I think societal norms and workplace cultures have also shaped perceptions of women in leadership roles. So what are your thoughts on this?
Yes, especially getting married is one milestone in every woman's life. And I think that there is a drop in terms of career plans. A woman is not allowed to pursue. How many times you have seen a man shifting to the city of work of a woman after getting married?
True.
But for women, it's a norm. You have to shift. If
to.
a girl from Bangalore is getting married in Delhi, she has to shift. The second milestone is your first child, second child, and by the time I think the family planning actually starts, many women drop out from the career graph. After a gap, they have to start again. Imagine somebody joining after 5 years or 20 years, sometimes even 20 years is a gap after which a woman thinks, now my kids are settled, let me start my career. Do you think that women will ever get a leadership position after such a long gap. So I think those women who compromise their marital relationship, their children, only they are able to make to the top. So, except for people who are in the entrepreneurship segment, many women, especially when they are into jobs, it's quite difficult for them to even continue the journey. Forget about leadership. So this is a challenge. It was there many years ago as well as today.
So when a woman wants to restart her career, the challenges are not less, the challenges are many. And to the point that the woman thinks that, should I start? Where shall I start? How shall I start? Isn't it? So these are the challenges, and talking about challenges, there is one thing which is gender bias. Okay. So what are some of the common biases that women encounter in leadership roles, and how can organizations actively work on overcoming these challenges?
The first I would say is, even I was rejected a job right at the beginning of my career, where my male counterpart was offered the job. I had better scores, better grade, better communication skills, and I was wondering why he got selected and not me. It was a listed company, so I couldn't take that rejection. So I again requested a meeting with the president of the group. She was a lady, and when I asked her, why did you reject me, she said, because you are a lady, you will get married, so there will be break. We are looking for somebody who will stay with us for a longer time. And I told her, you are leading the group as a lady, why do you think that I will lead? She said, no, after marriage, girls either leave the job or shift to some other place. That was my story. I definitely can vouch there are many more such stories,
Yes.
where a girl is not even being told why she is getting rejected. I sought an explanation, I got that explanation, and just because I sought that explanation, they hired me. Of course, my friend lost that job, and he hated me for doing that, but I told him, look, I did it because I wanted an explanation, and because I could explain that my commitment is for a longer time, they actually hired me. So this is a fact. There is a bias at every point of time. Forget about men doing it. It is usually even women HR, when
True.
they are interviewing a candidate, one of the typical question which a woman gets to hear is, when are you getting married? What are your family plans if she is recently married?
Right.
Do you ask these questions to a man ever? Why are you asking to a woman?
Yes. So I have also experienced a similar, situation wherein I was told by my boss, this was long time back, that okay, fine, interview women, but then just try to find out how much time will they devote and whether they are on the family way. So we had to keep all these things in mind and then interview them and then make a selection. So this is a very sorry state of affairs, I must say. But having said that, when we talk about work-life balance, women balancing home and profession, this is also one of the challenging areas wherein women leaders manage the expectations of both, profession and on personal front. And there are responsibilities without facing undue scrutiny. How can women, balance work and home?
I feel that you have to declutter your life. You cannot
Very
be
true.
doing everything.
Very true.
So, for example, if I am managing something, I don't do many things which a housewife would be doing. So, I feel that you need to create your own support system. Don't overwhelm your in-laws or your husband, but you can definitely hire a maid who is your support system. Ensure that a decent amount is paid to that maid so that she considers your house as her workplace.
Yes.
So if you create that system, you will be sorted for life. I have a maid, like if my son is sick, I think he is more attached to the maid than me because she is there to take care of him. So
Yes.
you have to create your support system. Many
So,
women try to do everything in the world. Sorry, you are not a superwoman, though there is a concept of superwoman, woman,
yes,
but I am not a superwoman.
yes,
I am a working lady. I might be focusing more on my work front than on the home front.
yes.
I
So,
am
I,
definitely a
yes,
good mother, but
not a
doesn't mean
superwoman.
that I spend quantity time, but quality time with my kids.
Yeah, as you said very rightly, the superwoman concept has been created by society, and also society feels that a woman should be multitasker. Whether there is a balance between these tasks is not a concern, but the woman has to be a multitasker. So, which I think is a myth, it's not possible. And you rightly said that one needs to concentrate on few tasks, few areas of important things in life, rather than taking on everything and then ultimately getting nowhere. So also talking about work life balance, what systemic changes are needed when we talk about professional life of a woman? Systemic changes in terms of creating safer and more inclusive work environment for a woman to work.
So, like we talk about posh, I feel that posh training should be given to men
Very true.
more than
Very true.
women, because it's not that men deliberately do it. They may not know that some of their very natural things, like complimenting a lady, may not be taken in the right spirit.
True. True.
I feel that sometimes it is the difference of opinion or how things are perceived causes lot of distress. So I think if we have that cohesive environment where we educate all, and then in the HR system we should have a system where there should be open communication. If a lady is needing any kind of support, it could be like sometimes there is somebody sick in the family. So I always say that this is your first family. You are spending most active part of your day at the workplace. So it should be like a family. If somebody is sick, you should be as a boss also. I request all the male uh, who are listening to this particular podcast, they just come forward, help. They are your either your sister or your cousins. Just go help them, tell them that you continue with this thing, we will take care of your family. I had that support system at various points of my career where I needed support. Once my husband met with an accident, and there was literally nobody at home who could take turns in the hospital. So my office colleagues helped me.
That's
So,
nice.
and women shouldn't hesitate in asking for help. The problem is we don't share.
Yes. And talking about posh, I think many men are not aware about posh. So they end up, doing things and saying things which may not be considered as okay or fine. So, what do you think? Men should be given a training, or they should be made aware on posh?
I would say every induction, whatever new person is joining, you should do it as a part of the induction training. Give leaflets, handouts, especially during diversity month, means March. You should again reiterate, give awareness training to both men and women.
Men and women. Right.
Make women more tolerant and make men more aware.
Aware. Okay. That's, I think, the need of the hour, I feel. Now, talking about opportunities and, mentorship, I think mentorship is very crucial aspect. And mentorship or leadership development programs that have successfully empowered women. I think you must have attended a few mentorship programs. So, what would you advise?
I recently, during COVID times, I actually had a career break. Break means I was doing my consultancy, but a job break. And I went through a very nice program where I got mentored. I learned very important facet there. Be shameless, which means that you should be ready to face adversity and still ask for it. You should be ready for a no. So many times we don't ask for lot of things just because we are not ready to listen to that particular no. So I was told you should be yes worthy, means you should be able to explain why you deserve that particular thing. You should be no ready, means be ready to hear that particular no. And the third thing is make a very convincing appeal. So practice your appeal rather than just going and casually asking for it. Make your appeal very strong so that the other person starts thinking that yes, she has made this point. How about giving her this opportunity? You remember Steve Jobs' quote, ask and you shall receive.
Yes.
I am a person who doesn't get bogged up by asking. I ask, and that's why many a times I may not even get it immediately, but eventually I get it. So I am not hesitant to ask.
Okay. So you think women leaders should opt for such programs, which will enhance their leadership roles in organizations?
100%. I think today I got a lateral entry at a leadership position in education industry. I was in corporate. When I did my PhD in 2013, my guide wanted me to join education industry. But I saw the salaries being paid to assistant professors and I thought, sorry, I can't take that hit. And was wondering whether I will be able to get a lateral entry. Eventually, I got a lateral entry directly at leadership position in the education industry. So you have to think, plan for it, develop the skills needed for that particular position. Everything is possible if you get those degrees and qualifications. You have to constantly unlearn and relearn.
Unlearn and relearn. That's amazing.
Yeah, because corporate is very different from education industry. So corporate is full of fun comparatively. Education industry is full of lot of rules, and somewhere I feel that I still miss my corporate life and corporate journey. It's not that education industry is bad. The work-life balance has improved, but at the same time, despite the stress, I feel that there you have better opportunities and shortcuts. So I love snakes and ladders, and I love those ladders which I got in my corporate journey. Here I think there are fewer ladders, too many snakes and less ladders to go.
Too many snakes, okay. So is the difference vast when we compare corporate and academics?
I would say yes, it's vast.
It's vast. And you have experiences of both these
yes, I have spent 20
sectors.
years of my career in corporate, so I would say in corporate the journey is very fast. I know some of my students, means interns, who are at double my position, at double my salaries. So I definitely feel that corporate is better.
Great. So also what policies have you seen in terms of organizational policies, significant policies that have helped women leaders grow?
So support system like giving proper maternity breaks and then accepting a woman, not depriving her of her increments and promotions when she is going through this particular phase. I would give credit to my organization where both my kids were born, that they supported me during this particular time, and in fact I got my promotion with my second child. Not just promotion, I did my PhD with my second child in the 8th month of my pregnancy. So all this happened because they supported me. I had a big team and they never told me that you are using the team for your PhD, because I actually sat with them and decided the PhD topic which was useful for the organization. So I did a PhD in a topic which was supported by my organization. So I feel that rather than doing random things, how about doing things which are aligned to your organization? They will definitely support you.
That's a great insight. Doing things which are aligned with your organization. Great. So, talking about, touching upon your personal insights and certain advice, I have last 3 questions for you. So, what personal strategies or mindsets have helped you break through leadership barriers?
Positive person. When somebody says no to me, I don't consider it as a no. I just feel that maybe I was not convincing enough. So I relook and I approach again. So I don't give up. That is one thing.
That's interesting, yeah.
Second thing is accept that people are here to test you. So don't ever expect anybody to do you any favor. Always think that they will challenge you. If you are ready for those challenges, life becomes easy. Example, imagine that you are in a roller coaster ride. So what are you expecting? Imagine if the roller coaster is super slow. Will you enjoy? No. You want it to be super fast, up, down, kicking you, and that's the fun. Corporate life or career for women should be like that. It is full of adventure. You should enjoy that journey rather than feeling that, oh, I'm going up, now I will be going down. So many times I have seen women are scared. They have formed perceptions that he hates me, she hates me, she will backstab me, and all those things. Actually, they don't exist. They exist in our head. And because of those perceptions, sometimes we don't try enough, or we just become defensive rather than
exploring.
Yeah.
So we need to come out of our comfort zones and we need to face challenges head on.
Yes.
And stop playing victimhood.
Yes. I don't like to be playing that victim card at all, and I hate sympathy. I don't want anybody to sympathize with me. In fact, I would like somebody to scold me if I do something wrong. I am ready for that particular scolding.
That's amazing. Yeah, not many people would want, constructive criticism or somebody to criticize them. Very few women take it. Okay. So also one piece of advice from you for aspiring women leaders, what would it be?
To all the aspiring women who want to become leader, let me tell you, leadership is different than bossism. If you start bossing around thinking that you have got that position, you will not be a leader at all. A leader is one who inspires others to come forward, explore. Don't work for credits. They will come your way anyway. And it is better that you mentor people. So there's a difference between mentoring and coaching. Instead of coaching, become a mentor. A coach is a person who is very harsh. Like we see all these cricket coaches, when their people, if for example Virat Kohli wouldn't have performed, what would have happened? Lot of criticism would have come, especially from his own coach.
Yes.
Whereas a mentor always looks at the positive sides and tells you that how you could have done better, and always first says you still did a good job.
That's an interesting explanation on mentorship and coachship. Very well said. And the last question which I have is women uplifting women. So this is very rare in today's world. So what are your thoughts on women uplifting women, supporting women for collective growth?
Instead of competing, start collaborating, start uniting. If we are all united and collaborating with each other, we will do wonders. Let me tell you, we all have our own paths, own destinies, own journey. So undercutting is something which is a short-term objective. It will actually spoil your karma. How about improving your karma by helping others? And don't restrict only to women. Have a good karma for everybody, a man or a woman, because many times we might be helping a man who is actually in turn running a family. So he is helping 2-3 women in turn. So be I'm not talking about being gender biased at all. I'm saying that we should help each and every other person, and in fact ensure that you bring a smile on everybody's face. It's very easy to criticize, to demean somebody, but it's very difficult to still find something good.
Yes.
And so I give this anecdote of, fly and honeybee. Honeybee always picks up only good things. A fly goes and sits on dirty things.
Yes.
So be a honeybee in your life, don't be a fly. If you try to be fly, that means you are, sorry to use that word, bitching around, doing backstabbing. Whereas a honeybee is a person who would only pick up the good things. So be like a honeybee, pick up the good things, and in fact appreciate people for the good things, especially women, help other women. And as I mentioned, create your support system where when you get an increment, have you given a percentage share increase to your maid? Because she was part of your success story, right? You got that promotion because she handled your house properly. So many times we don't do that unless they say that madam rate बढ़ गया है, you will not be giving that rice to that lady.
Yes, voluntarily we don't think.
Whenever you get an increment, you can give. See, she might be getting 10,000. When you get an increment of 10%, similarly you give a 10% rise to her. It's just 200 rupees rise. It's not going to burn your pocket at all. But she will feel good that you gave her the rise without asking.
So leadership and empowerment begins at home.
Yes, it does begin at home.
Great. Okay. So I think we have a long way to go in terms of breaking barriers where, we kind of explore the full potential of women in today's world, in leadership roles especially. However, having said that, there is increasing awareness and there is also certain shift in cultural norms and growing support in terms of diversity and inclusion. And this is where I see tangible opportunities for women leadership to reshape leadership dynamics.
Yes. So it's not that opportunities are not there, they are ample. Only thing is we are not geared enough to grab those opportunities.
Yes.
And sometimes we get it, we grab it, but then we don't retain it. We lose it on the way. Don't do that.
Yes.
And no shortcuts. There are no shortcuts in life. So ensure that your karma remains good by doing good deeds.
So last golden nuggets from you.
I will again repeat Steve Jobs' quote, ask and you shall receive. So to all the women out there who are still thinking whether they can get that next position, ask.
You shall receive. Thank you so much for coming here, and it was a pleasure talking to you and learning a lot from your leadership.
Thank you, Sukhvinder, for this opportunity.
Thank you.